You've probably seen the patch preview, and Jinx is getting nerfed. But along with that, there's a bunch of other changes for ADCs, and I'm curious to see what Riot Freak over here next to me, he's right there, what he has to say about this. I waited to make this video because I'm always waiting, like Freak, every patch makes a preview video, and it's just so cool to see how he explains things from like a designer perspective. And I'm curious why they nerf Jinx. Like, is she a problem? I don't know. So I just want to hear from him. Let's go.
Next up, we are doing a slew of changes to AD carries. It's 4 nerfs and 5 buffs to basically shake up what you're seeing in solo queue. Basically just went after the 4 highest pick rate AD carries. Xayah, by the way.
Wait. So because the champion has high peak rate, you want to nerf the champion? I mean, doesn't that just mean the champion is, popular and has a good design? That's a bit weird to me. And how to say what else he has to say?
25% pick rate in most ranks, like really just the most played champion league right now. And so doing it as a shakeup, right, moving win rates around by about 1%. We know that most AD carries are relatively balanced against one another. Plus or minus 1% either way is not going to change that very much.
Yeah, this is usually not really like 1v1 or that much. And, even when they do, because people go void grabs 4v4, and ADC sit bot alone 1v1, usually the one with the higher range has the advantage, or the one that just has more like all-in power that can engage. But usually, like, for example, you take Jinx, you put Jinx against Xayah, well, if you just don't get hit by Xayah W, you kind of win no matter what, because you just sit back range inside the wave, she can't hit you. Right? But most of the time, ADCs kind of like don't really fight each other. They kind of push waves and that's it. So, yeah, that's true.
I know some people said, like, that's kind of a nothing patch for, like, the AD carries, but you will see, like, meaningful movements in pick rate in both directions here. Jhin is actually a bit weak. MF is actually a bit weak. And, like,
really?
Regardless of having goals around shaking up the ADC meta, these champs actually should be buffed no matter what. But otherwise, mostly just trying to cycle things around and just have a little bit of a different look for the season. That's one of the weird things of having I would still say, pretty well-balanced game, is if you can play what you want, you end up playing well for AD carries, attractive women for the most part.
Yeah, I would. First of all, yeah, the game is very balanced right now. Like they nailed the balance of the game this season. I'm gonna be completely honest. The game felt good all throughout. Like, yeah, it's a bit boring. They removed our items. You don't really have any item changes. There's nothing happening anymore. There's like no hype, big moments. But I mean, next season is coming. It's gonna be amazing. At least that's what Freak said at the start of the video. I skipped that part. And winter map comes on Wednesday. I mean, that's cool, So it's like, yeah, I mean, I like having a balanced game, because when the game is balanced, instead of focusing on items and runes and figuring out what works and what doesn't, instead I'm focusing on myself as a player and my improvement. I improved so much in the last few months because I had no distractions. I was just grind, let's go, let's run, let's do that. And worked really well. So in a way, you can say the game is boring, but boring is not bad in League of Legends terms, because it locks you in to focus on yourself.
It's what it seems to be. And, here's Xayah with a quarter of the pick rate of the game, and it's like, yeah.
By the way, why are like more than half the ADCs female? I don't understand that. I mean, I guess you don't want female melee warriors because they're weaker physically than men, I guess, but it's just funny.
That tracks. So regardless, this is a shakeup here. As far as the direction of the changes themselves, there is an eye toward caster AD carry versus non-caster AD carries, trying to nudge the ones who have strong auto attack synergy toward building auto attack items. Like,
I think that's good. You want Jinx to build attack speed and crit. You don't want Jinx to build lethality. Remember the meta? You don't want that. So I think that's amazing. Yeah, this is a good direction. They're going in a good direction. Except the item right now, I feel like the crit items don't make much sense. You have to buy Lord Dominic's third as soon as possible, because otherwise you just don't deal damage, because everybody has so much flat armor. Even if you play against 5 assassins, you have to buy armor pen, which makes no sense. It's not intuitive. You should only be required to buy armor pen if you play against people that actually buy armor. That's how I see it. That's how I think it makes sense. Right now, that's not the case. So they gotta fix some things, and I'm hoping next season they fix these things. We're gonna talk more about that when it happens, hopefully.
Ashe is already building, because she's like clearly not a spellcaster. Volley is not enough to carry this one. Ashe is already building like very high attack speed overall already, with going Kraken Slayer PD as her most common build here. And it's not that every champ should go Kraken Slayer PD by any means, but we're generally trying to play up the attack speed appetite relative to the attack damage or spellcasting or lethality appetite if you're an auto attacker. And so Ashe just lowering some Q attack speed to continue to give room for attack speed purchases to breathe. Pretty much the place there. About 1% win rate of change in this one. Caitlyn, again, we want to make room for her playing out extended team fights. I think her head.
One thing again I want to say, it's so much talk about items. I mean, if you want people to buy attack speed, you know, because on Jinx, for example, you want people to buy attack speed. Because attack speed is fun and it's good, it feels nice. You're supposed to attack fast on a hyper carry. But how can I do that if after Yuntal, like Infinity and Lord Dominic's just become the best items and they just deal the most damage, you know? That's what I really don't like right now. It's just kind of have to go Infinity LDR. Otherwise your damage is just lower. This is the reality of things. And attack speed is less important when Little Tempo is in the game, Yuntal is in the game, Alacrity is in the game. You know, that's kind of how I see it.
Shot should be strong, don't get me wrong. But also, we're in a state where Caitlyn can literally one auto you to kill you, which...
it happened. Yep. Caitlyn full build, headshot. Oh. 2000 damage? Oh. Okay. Sure. I shall outrage this be. Okay.
Yeah, it's just simply too good. So taking up to 20% off the total AD ratio here. Keep in mind
Late
this,
game. Yes.
checkpoints level 7 and 13. So it is not a nerf at all level 1 through 6. It is a light nerf at level 7. It is a bigger nerf at level 13 and onwards. A light nerf for the non-champion damage. Not a very big deal there, but it's just some amount of cleanup essentially.
Okay.
And the entire point is, trying to reduce the incidence of those one-shots a little bit, but still preserving the crit ratio for now, because I don't want to go back to lethality Caitlyn, and so the headshot crit ratio and the ult crit ratio staying for now. Jinx, next one up, trying to, again, nudge away from castery stuff and make sure the auto attacks are more the forefront of what she's doing, looking for...
Yeah, I mean, when you ult right now, a lot of times you want to ult if people are grouped to deal big damage. That's kind of how I use my ult most of the time right now. Joining a fight, I see like people engaging, I'm just gonna throw my ult in there, hit like 2 or 3 targets. If they are lower HP, even better, it's more damage. So maybe they want to stop us from doing that. But I mean, I don't think that's necessarily horrible. I'm still gonna do it, even if it gets nerfed, because like we kind of guarantee your passive, and that's very important on Jinx, yeah.
About 1% of win rate here as well, a little bit under, which is 50 flat damage on R and 0.25 off of the bonus AD ratio. I do want to point out, by the way, one thing, which is even though the tooltip says it will do at minimum 1/10 the damage in melee range, it won't. The scaling seems to be pretty much instantaneous in that you're going to do more like... I didn't like actually write down the numbers and do all the math, but you definitely deal more than 1/10 the damage when you like melee range the spell. Like...
Yeah, like I find myself doing melee ultimates and they're fine. Like they deal damage, the missing percentage, missing health, that's what matters the most anyway. Like that slaps, you know?
If you just like point blank hit somebody who's full HP, you will not do 30 damage.
I mean, you won't use it melee against full HP. I mean, I think that's a skill issue anyway. Yes. I mean, you know, that's probably just a skill issue if you do that. So I don't think this matters so much.
So that part of the tooltip is fake. It's at some point I get some time, I will re-implement, like, probably I'll keep the mechanics as they are on live, and it's like, hey, your minimum damage in melee range is this number, whatever it is, and then like write that into the tooltip and then redo the math in the scripting of how it does that. At some point I'll probably get to it, but like, hey, by the way, the 1/10 thing is really, 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 really fake. It's never actually that low. Also keep in mind, the missing health damage on Jinx R does not scale. You just get that no matter what the range is. So don't be afraid to cast short range Jinx R. A lot
Exactly.
of the damage you're going to get no matter what range you're shooting it at.
Yeah, it's something good to do is like somebody tries to run you down, you hit them with range, they get closer, they're about to stun you, cast your ultimate. And then it casts, it deals the missing health damage, you're saved because of the ultimate and everything. Ulting melee is not bad at all if the enemy is low. Why would you ult if they're full HP? You know, if you know you can kill with ult melee, you should just throw ult melee. That's kind of how it is usually.
By the way, Kai'Sa, minor nerf here, 2 armor and 10 seconds on the ultimate cooldown. A light nerf here as she's, again, we're looking to make a bit more room for other AD carries to get picked.
Minus 2 armor early game is a big deal. Against long range carries like Jinx, Caitlyn, Ashe, maybe she's gonna struggle a lot.
Moving on. Misfortune, the first buff here, is a 5% total AD ratio increase on the R. Keep in mind, MFR is only a total AD ratio.
I feel like Misfortune is just an ultimate bot at this point. My favorite MF, I played a lot of MF, but it's when she was like building proper crit and attack speed builds. Like that was fun. That was fun. But now Zeal item on MF is Eid. I can't do that anymore. You just go, we play for the ulti basically.
Is about what 1/7, about 14% more damage to the entire ultimate. That is no, that can't be right. That's not the math. Sorry, about 1/14 more damage, 7%. There we go. More damage to the entire spell. That is a pretty big deal, right? Your entire ult doing 7% more damage is not a trivial change there.
Yeah, it's like buying a longsword towards the late game. You get 10 AD when you have 300 AD. I mean, I'll still take it. It's good, you know.
So that's something. It'll be a win rate bump, and yeah, we figured Peter's Nautilus didn't die fast enough at World, so we want to make sure that dies faster next time. Next up is
I don't know the reference. I don't watch words.
Tristana going for 1% of win rate. AD growth means she has more AD to have room for attack speed. Minor thing there, but again, we have room for buffs, so let's go give buffs.
That's cool.
Right now, there is plenty of room before Tristana mid takes back over. Stat growth can be scary, of course, for Tristana mid going back and taking over, but we're
stat growth is so good in general, honestly. It's so good.
Not there right now. We have some room, and honestly, I would not mind if I think it's cool if we get AD carry mids to the place where we kind of got Mel to, where it's like these champions start entering the pool around game 3, 4, 5 of Fearless. That's where I would want AD carries to be, where they are viable. You can play AD carry mid options, but I really never want them to be the best thing to play. Just in the same sense that I want Ziggs to be the best thing to play in pro either, where it's like, if the best thing you can do in bot lane is play a mage, that looks really bad for bot lane.
Honestly, I feel like it's interesting how ADCs could be played mid and bot. I don't dislike that, you know, ADCs and mages, bot and mid. I think it's a cool idea, you know. Like, why do we need to have the same, like, bot lane is full of ADC, that's it. Meanwhile, mid, you have mages, you have assassins, you have fighters. Top lane, you have tanks. You could have some mages, you have fighters. Like, you have bruisers, whatever, same thing. Like, you have so many, like, so much diversity. On supports, you have tanks, you have engage, you have poke, you have sustain, you have enchanters. ADCs, caster, non-caster. So I hit once, deals big damage, or I hit multiple times for less damage. But I just still do the same thing. I sit back and just throw stuff. It's nothing, you know? Meanwhile, oh, we have a mage. Yeah, I sit back and throw stuff, but it's like ability based. It's magic damage. It's like, it's cool. You just add more into the pool. You like that. Same as here, they buffed so many champions, they gave them like monster damage. Cool. Let's have every champion be able to jungle. Why the hell not? Fun. Why not? Let's have that. Why not? Who knows? It's gonna be fun. I don't know. Diversity is good. Just get stuff to work. You know, it's not bad.
Best thing you can do in mid is play an invader, right? An AD carry. That looks bad for mid lane, right? All those things are you know, going to be like bad looks if they're true. And so we have room to get Tristana up to can play some mid games in pro and can be you know, a challenger mid lane or whatever. Right now she's basically not, and so like a nudge here is fine, but if we go too hard and she becomes number 1, we've got to start correcting again.
Yeah, I remember that meta with ADCs mid. Yeah, that was too much. ADCs everywhere. That was a funny time, but the meta was bad then.
Next one is a nerf to Xayah's auto-attacking. The total AD ratio on the pass-through of her passive feathers going up by a flat 5% total AD.
That's cool. Because right now with Xayah, if you throw feathers through the wave to the enemy, you don't really get hit like 10 damage or whatever. It's like no damage at all. Compared to you play Aphelios, blue gun, you hit the minion, and then the spread hits the champion. That's a lot of damage that you deal, like almost 100 early game. That's a big deal. On Xayah, for some reason, you can't do that. That'd be so cool. Like Lucian presses Q through the wave, hits the enemy. That's a lot of damage. Senna does the same. Meanwhile, Xayah, nope. It doesn't. You can pretty much ignore the feathers that go through the wave. They don't matter at all.
It's a little bit of wave clear, a little bit of team fight damage output. It's some power here. Last time we did auto attack stuff to Xayah, it ended up being pretty impactful. It was one of the first things I ever did was buff her base attack speed and AS ratio to make her a better auto attacker.
Yeah, she's a good auto attacker.
I think it was still a pretty good change. And so here's someone else doing changes to Xayah and making her auto attacks better, which I think is pretty good.
All right.
And then going back on a nerf from a long time ago on Zeri. Zeri is definitely in a spot now where her win rates are, I mean, they're essentially fine. She wins a totally normal number of games, but does not have the player base she used to. And the thought...
I don't even know when's the last time I played against Zeri. Maybe I see her once in 100 games. Like, wow. You know, like, she's not played.
What I have here is I think we should try to go back on as many of the old pros Q changes as we can. The idea being like, look, when a bunch of changes were made to be like, get Zeri out of pro and save her win rate, the people who did that work, which wasn't me, the people who did that work were successful in achieving their goals, right? They got Zeri's win rate to a great spot where she's completely viable and is not pro'd in any way. It's like, cool, well, let's go meet back somewhere in the middle where she has a balance to, even if she has a slightly low win rate, it's fine, but fulfills the speed demon fantasy a little bit better and goes back to being one of the best things you can play if you're one of the best players in the game, because Fearless does a lot for making things not look stale. I am still of the personal opinion that outside of things being literally permabanned and you know the only thing you see is red team, you know, red one bans this year, which very unfortunate here for Worlds. But if you're not seeing that constantly, you're just saying, oh, it's Keria, so it's barred. But otherwise, it's just like, well, no, BDD and Faker are both really good at Azir, and so that's illegal, and they're not giving up one game. Okay, but so anyway, yeah, getting Zeri to a spot where it's like, yeah, she's probably one of the best 480 carries, but like you let her get picked in game 1 or 2. Cool, great, bring her back. I think that's fine.
It's a bit, honestly, it's very weird in League how they just have to balance the same game for multiple types of people. For solo queue enjoyers, lower elos, mid elos, higher elos, top of the ladder solo queue, and then you have pro play. It's like balancing it out for pro play to make it make sense for every solo queue enjoyer as well. It's so difficult. And this is why like champs like Zeri are just struggling. If she's okay to pick in pro play, she's just still so weak in solo queue. But if you make her okay in solo queue, she's broken in pro play. It's just so hard to balance this game. And I don't know how they keep doing it like really well. Like they improve so much over the years. And again, this season the game is so balanced. And it's honestly, I'm just happy to see a meta shakeup again. Just change things around, you know, see what happens. Let's go, let's have fun, you know. It's good.
So, right, moving back in those directions, right, going for changes that we think people will be excited about and trying to re-fulfill that fantasy and yeah, meet somewhere back, somewhere in the middle between where we were and where we are now.
By the way, he skipped Jin for some reason. I think he skipped Jin, but yeah, that's basically it. Then it's just other champions that we don't care about. Yeah, you play the same against them as an ADC, you just stay away and just hit them from afar. And that's basically it. And the last thing is when he started, season start update, early December. It's going to be good. And also speaking of bug fixes, Freak, please, when you throw W as Jinx on a jungle camp, for example, that you don't have vision on, your W deals 0 damage. The camp stays full HP until you hit it once again. Then the HP starts to go down. It's so weird, such a weird bug. It just makes no sense. But anyway, guys, play Jinx. Don't be afraid of the Jinx nerf, because you're gonna throw ults when they're low HP anyway. And in the middle of the fight, you're gonna throw ults when they're grouped anyway. You're gonna deal big damage anyway. It's not bad at all. Like it's completely fine. So yeah. Take care, everyone. See you next time.